Welcome, everyone. If my lipstick is not on point, I have been kissing dogs. Literally, like they have been full on. But they're heroes, right? They're heroes, these animals. So I'm so honored to be here. So welcome to the 50th annual Purina Animal Hall of Fame. Today we are celebrating a landmark occasion commemorating 50 years of Canadian animal heroes. And this is our biggest ceremony ever at the prestigious Tiff Bell Lightbox. So thank you, Tiff, for this amazing space to host this year's Red Carpet Awards ceremony and celebrate the Purina Animal Hall of Fame Golden Anniversary. In addition to members of the media and the Purina family here in attendance to celebrate 50 years of animal heroism are this year's inductees and honorees and former inductee families. So this is a big deal. Also here in attendance at this year's Red Carpet event are the students from Holy Spirit Catholic Elementary School, so welcome. And my name's Jennifer Valentine, in case you don't know me. I am on the morning show, Derringer in the Morning on Q107. So I've been up for a while, but I am ready. I'm pumped and ready to go. For those of you who might not know, I'm a huge animal lover, and this is my dog, Dixie. Dixie was very unexpected in our lives. It was somebody who was unable to care for Dixie. She had a 2-year-old, and Dixie was not trained. Dixie was pooping and peeing all over the house, and my girlfriend had said, you know what, listen, I want a dog to be a companion for her dog. She wanted another dog. She said, there's a woman, she doesn't want her dog anymore, and she said, and you know, I just thought of you, Jennifer, because you're always saying how much you want a dog, so why don't you come with me? If you want the dog, you can have it, and if you don't, I'll take it. And I said, well, I can't have a dog. My husband doesn't want a dog. We have a cat, Baxter, and I thought, I'll come with you. I said, but there's no way I can take this dog. 20 minutes later, I walk out the door with Dixie, and I just faced the consequences when I arrived at home. And my husband, completely in shock, he was a little angry, but I'll tell you, 24 hours later, talking baby talk. Now the two of them have this little special relationship where they go for walks, just the two of them. So dogs, animals, cats, whatever, they bring just so much love into the home. Do we all agree on that? Yeah. And now Dixie and Baxter, best friends, and now we have a hedgehog on the way. So I'm so excited about that. Georgia really wanted one, my daughter, and after a year of begging for the hedgehog, I said, let's do it. So an animal home. Now, in today's program on this golden anniversary, we will recognize the heroic efforts of 4 remarkable animals who will join the ranks of other pets and service animals who have been inducted into the Purina Animal Hall of Fame for demonstrating unquestionable loyalty, intelligence, and perseverance to save a human life. In addition to the 2018 official inductees, we'll also be paying tribute to 2 very special 4-legged pets, with an honorable mention for making a significant and positive impact on the daily lives of others. If you have attended this ceremony in previous years, you know firsthand the impact and heartfelt emotion these stories can have. And if you're compelled to shed a tear or two, don't worry, because we've got tissues. So we'll pass around those tissues. I've got tissues up here because I will definitely be tearing up. We've provided you all with an Purina Animal Hall of Fame tissue packs, so cry away. And while you wipe a tear, feel free to share these heartwarming stories with your friends and family by using the hashtag #PetHeroes. I am a big fan of social media, so get on your phones, turn your ringers off, but get on your phones and hashtag #PetHeroes, and then also tag Purina at Purina Canada. And then we can all, when you share the photos, we can all look back after the ceremony and we can all take a look at what the photos that we took. Now I'd now like to invite Reagan T.S. McGowan to the stage, senior scientist in the behavior group at Purina, and she's just going to say a few words. Reagan?
Thank you, Jennifer, and good morning, everybody. I am so excited to be here. and I feel unbelievably privileged to be part of such an important year in the Purina Animal Hall of Fame history. I'm also incredibly excited to be able to celebrate the 50th anniversary with this year's and previous year's inductees and their families. As Jennifer said, my name is Reagan T.S. McGowan, and I'm a senior scientist in the behavior group at Nestle Purina. I grew up with dogs and have always been fascinated by how great dogs are at reading people. So it was inevitable that I would end up studying their emotions. After earning my PhD, I moved to Sweden, and I took a postdoc position where my research focused on studying positive emotional states in dogs. This helped us to glean a better understanding of and develop means to actually measure positive emotions. You see, at the time, we knew a lot about negative emotions or negative states that dogs might feel, like stress and fear, but very little was known about positive emotions in animals, so that was our focus. So I came full circle back to studying the species that I had interacted with most closely for my entire life. And now my family and I share our lives with two wonderful giant dogs named Luna and Perry. There they are right there. So Luna's on the right and Perry's on the left. We rescued them from different animal shelters. I can attest firsthand the positive impact that these two have had on my family, and especially my children, and even on each other. You see, Luna there is actually a very anxious dog, so we adopted Perry to be her therapy dog, to help her learn that the world is not such a scary place. So she looks to him in all different situations to understand if everything's okay, and if he's cool, then she's good to go, so they work well together. I am extremely lucky to be part of the behavior group at Purina, where I get to study positive emotions in pets, and understand the human-animal bond, not just from the perspective of the people, but from the pets themselves. Since joining Nestle Purina in 2009, my research has focused on using a holistic approach. This means I'm incorporating behavior, physiology, and endocrinology to quantify affective states and temperament in dogs and cats, and to better understand and quantify the human-animal bond, again, from the pet's perspective. Research into the human-animal bond has made some startling discoveries about the great lengths that pets will go to save the lives of their human companions. Mounting research, particularly in the area of dog cognition, has shown that dogs are highly skilled at communicating with humans, learning from humans, and perhaps understand us even better than we understand ourselves. There are studies which support the notion that dogs pay very close attention to the humans in their lives, attend to changes in human attentional states, and even take the perspective of humans into account to change their own behavior. Research into the bond has also uncovered how this impacts our social, psychological, and biological well-being, and how it relates to a reduction in feelings of loneliness or depression. The support found in these relationships can be of particular value to socially isolated or chronically ill people. And let us not forget the therapy and assistance animal, which have helped people with countless difficulties, including reducing the frequency of seizures, reducing feelings of fear or anxiety, and helping people reclaim their independence. The benefits that pets provide for their human companions are well documented and numerous. At Purina, we understand the impacts that pets can have on mental health, and that's why we are proud to support the Center for Addiction and Mental Health's work around the bond between people and animals, including both research and pet therapy. My group at Purina is also involved in an ongoing study at the Mayo Clinic, where we're looking at the impact of therapy dog visits on patients with fibromyalgia. We are looking not only at the emotional impact that it has for the patients, but also on the therapy dogs themselves. These projects share a common goal, and that is making hospital visits more humanizing and tapping into that bond that people have with animals. So how do these findings relate to the stories that we will hear about today? Well, our evidence suggests that the relationships we have with our dogs, paired with their unique sensitivity to communicate signals, or sensitivity to communication signals from humans, seem to contribute to the formation of deep bonds. And that these deep bonds really compel dogs to do anything to protect their human companions, which is what you'll hear about today in these stories. As you will hear, we have one intuitive whippet who put her good communication skills to use when she alerted to the danger of her owner's severe fall one night. We then have a retired police dog whose keen sense of smell and use of visual cues from his surrounding environment helped him to track a neighbor out in the cold. And we also have a heroic canine duo who picked up their owner's body language and breathing rate to understand that he was in trouble and that they needed to go find help. But these aren't the only animals that we will be honoring today. In addition to the 2018 official inductees, it is with great pleasure that I turn the spotlight to 2 other exceptional animals for the positive impact that they have had on the lives of their owners and of others in Canada and far beyond. Today we'll be paying tribute with an honorable mention for helping their friends in need. Our first honorable mention goes to Kobe, a 5-year-old German Shepherd Border Collie Husky mix from Toronto, and his owner, Emily Sweet. After enduring bullying, severe depression, and anxiety during her high school years, Emily adopted Kobe, trained him to be her service dog, and petitioned to have him join her at school. After much campaigning, Kobe was the first self-trained service dog in history to be allowed into a Canadian school. And now this program is available for millions of students across the country. Yeah, that deserves a big round of applause. Kobe's support has positively changed Emily's outlook on life, helping her to graduate from school, enroll in university, and go on to publicly speak about her experiences. It's quite an amazing dog. For our second honorable mention, some of you may know Smiley, Canada's beloved blind therapy dog. With over 200,000 Instagram followers, Smiley, who sadly passed away last year at 16 years of age, was famous for his infectious smile and ability to help others. Smiley was recognized by the RCMP in 2015 and made an honorary RCMP service dog for his work. He was also invited by Prime Minister Trudeau to visit him in his office on Parliament Hill so that they could thank him personally for what he had done for so many people. During his years as a therapy dog, he comforted hospital patients, children with autism, and those living in nursing homes. Although Smiley can't be with us today, his companion Joanne is here with Sunny, who is also a therapy dog just like Smiley, and who is continuing Smiley's legacy and lessons. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Emily and Kobe and Joanne and Sunny to the stage. We'd now like to invite Emily and Joanne to say a few words.
Hi, I would just like to thank Purina and everyone that has supported me through my journey. Struggling with anxiety and depression, sometimes it feels like all hope is lost, but I feel like this opportunity to start this project has really shown that even if you're struggling, you can make a positive change in all your struggles and make a difference for other people. And I really thank you for this opportunity, and I feel really blessed to have gone on this journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Purina, for honoring Smiley. even though he couldn't be here. He did a lot of great work, especially for children. I think it's really important teaching children these days about being born different can also be a good thing. And I'm really looking forward to carrying on Smiley's legacy with Sonny here, who, just let me add that he's not a therapy dog yet, but that is what we're going to be working towards, so we can carry on the great work that Smiley and I have been doing for the last 10 years. Thank you very much.
Two amazing stories, and yes, Sonny is not a therapy dog yet, but I was holding Sonny backstage for about 10 minutes, and I feel fantastic. Bringing sunshine into people's lives, what a beautiful thing. So now it's time to officially begin our inductee presentation. So I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our first presenter. I'd like to welcome my friend Roz Weston to the stage to present our first inductees of the day, Ruth and Lady. Roz is the co-host of the popular Roz and Mocha Show on KISS 92.5 and the entertainment reporter on ET Canada. Roz is a huge cat lover. Don't you love a man who loves cats? 3 of them, and apparently he's had many more before these 3 cats. His cats' names, I want to know who named these cats, Roz. Pickles, Fig, as seen in the photo here, and Coco. I love it. Please give a warm welcome to Roz, everyone.
Thank you. I do. I've had dogs. I grew up with 2 giant Bouviers, and then at some point when you live with animals that large, you decide to share your bed with smaller things. And I will get dogs again one day, but the cats, sort of, when you live in the city, they were all city cats that we just fell in love with. Pickles and Fig, and then we've had Beans and Weenie as well. And Coco, who's the baby, she's a foster fail. So my wife and our kid, if you're not familiar with foster failing, it's when you sign up for the foster program, because the great thing is that you always have kittens in the house, and then your house is just always full of kittens. You get the kitten, you make sure the kitten is healthy, and then you give the kitten back and the kitten gets adopted. Then you get more kittens. And so they signed up. It was a 6-month process. We got the first kitten and they were like, no. She's ours now. And then so we adopted, and that was the end of the foster program for my family. But we love them all. I'm a huge animal lover. I love dogs. I love cats, and it is a real honor here to be part of the Purina Animal Hall of Fame. I've covered 100 awards shows, more than that, in my time on television, and it is really lovely to be backstage where the people winning awards actually want to see you. And so I will give dogs awards every single day of my life if you ask me to. I have the honor to pay tribute to 2 extremely loyal hounds, both Ruth and Lady. Lady is a 7-year-old yellow lab border collie, and her sidekick Ruth is a 2-year-old Akbash yellow Labrador border collie cross. I hope I got all that right, Ruth. Both these beauties live happily with Matthew and Laura in Vancouver and Vancouver Island, as everybody lives a wonderful and happy life in Vancouver Island, because it's absolute paradise out there. They're playful, they're outdoorsy, although Matthew and Laura always felt lucky to have Ruth and Lady. On April 9th, 2017, they realized just how lucky they were, and I would like to turn your attention now to the screen to get the story of Matt, Laura, Ruth, and Lady.
You never expect a dog to save your loved one's life. It was a Sunday night. He went into Kelowna to get some supplies, and on his way home, he drove off the road. We don't know why he drove off the road. We think it was probably a deer or a bear.
I was found outside my vehicle, laying on the ground. And I'm not sure how I got there.
I was coming back home from work. It was about 10 p.m. and I pulled up and I noticed like 2 dogs there. And And as I got closer, I noticed a vehicle off to the left-hand side all smashed up. And then as I got closer, the dogs came walking towards me with their tails between their legs. And as soon as they moved, I saw Matt laying there on the ground. His truck was black, you couldn't see it. If the dogs weren't there, I don't think anybody would have seen him until the next morning.
He saw a truck had gone over the embankment.
I went down the hill, saw the vehicle, and saw one of the dogs.
We arrived upon a body.
He was very hurt. Had all the guys come down and start treating him. The lady didn't want to leave his side. She just lay right beside him. I didn't even try to move her because I just thought that was the right thing to have the dog with him.
It's an amazing case of how not only the dog's instincts kicked in to help their owner, but how they knew to find another person to get help and were able to go find that person and communicate to them through their body language to get them to come back and help their owner.
Definitely they're heroes. Without the dogs, I don't know if Matt would be here today.
Well, I'm very grateful. I have a feeling they helped me save my life.
Ruth and Lady are actually being inducted into the Purina Animal Hall of Fame.
Wow, that's incredible.
Wear these on their dog collars forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Matt, Lara, Ruth, and Lady. Hello. Covered in hair is totally worth it on a day like today, right? Totally worth it. How are you guys? When you see this, when you watch that video and sort of think back to everything that happened and how important these dogs are, did you think that they had this in them to be able to do something like that?
I don't think anyone expects their dog to have that in them.
Yeah.
They are loyal. They're wonderfully dedicated to us, but that was exceptional what they did.
Yeah. And how do you describe this? I mean, your relationship with these guys now.
They're my friends.
Yeah.
And they will always be that way.
Yeah. And how much time do you spend with these? Are with you all the time now? I imagine I wouldn't go anywhere without them. Is that pretty much the case?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, they stay with Matt all day.
Yeah.
Lady sits right at his feet all day, every day.
Yeah. And I can't tell you the little one's Lady.
Yeah.
She's lying on my feet right now, and I'm telling you, it is the single greatest feeling ever, and I don't want to move. What does this mean to you guys? I mean, they obviously can't speak for themselves, but to have them recognized in this way.
It is incredible to have such a terrible experience,
Yeah.
have a positive spin on it, and have something that we can remember as a wonderful chance, opportunity,
Yeah.
and go forward with Matt's recovery and have something else to focus on.
And as we've heard, and we'll hear more, you know, it's not just about companionship and friendship with dogs, but that they are so vital in overcoming the emotional part of something. So having gone through this, and they did what they did in that moment, but as far as the recovery goes, the emotional side of things, how important have they been to both you guys in healing that?
They're amazing. They can tell what your emotions are. When you're feeling down, they come and they snuggle with you. Sometimes it's a little much. They crawl into bed. And yeah, and Lady has the farts, I'm not going to lie. So, but
if one of them's going to steal your pillow, which one is it?
Probably both of them.
Probably both of them.
Sure.
And we happily give it up for them. Thank you so much, guys. Matt, Laura, Ruth, and Lady, congratulations to all of you.
thank you.
Thanks. By the way, we went to high school together, and I only found out like 30 hours ago that you were going to be here, and we haven't seen each other in about 25, almost 30 years, so this is pretty incredible as well.
Yeah.
So it's really good to see you.
That's funny.
Right on. Thank you.
Okay, that was extremely emotional. Beautiful. Oh, those dogs, incredible. And Roz, the high school connection, you know? I did need the tissue there. Did we all need the tissue? Yeah, we did. And Lady having the farts, that was hilarious. So we have our next guest coming up. I know him quite well. We've spent a lot of time together. We're lifelong friends. Gardener, weather specialist on City's Morning Breakfast Television Toronto, best-selling author, dog father, Frankie Flowers, everyone. Come on up. He is our next presenter. And look how spring he looks with this yellow. He's got yellow socks on, too.
I always say you got to have, you gotta start at the bottom, have fun with your bottom, your feet, and you'll have fun at the top. So daytime highs today, 24 degrees, just to let you know. Humidex of about 29. It's absolutely fantastic to be here today. As you know, my name is Frank Ferragini, aka Frankie Flowers. It's a pleasure to be here in an environment that you're hearing about inspiring stories, and you're hearing about man's best friend. I grew up with dogs. I grew up with German Shepherds and Labs. Lived on a farm property. My two boys, Gavin and Matheson, said they wanted a dog. I used to clean up after Labs and German Shepherds. So we got a Morkie, which is a Yorkshire Terrier and as well as a Maltese. So that there is little Bentley. My kids promised me at the same token that they would clean up his poo. Guess what? No. Bentley turns 1 year on May the 18th. He's been an absolute joy. I get up each and every morning at 3 o'clock in the morning. The first couple weeks, Bentley would be there to greet me and say good morning. Bentley does not get out of bed. So it's, once again, like I said, it's amazing to be here. I have the privilege this morning to pay tribute to a very intelligent and loyal dog. I met Arik a little bit earlier. Arik is an 8-year-old German Shepherd from Baddeck, Nova Scotia. Arik just isn't any regular dog. He spent the first 6 years of his life working hard as a police dog and devoting to the help of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. At age 6, Arik suffered an injury and forced him into early retirement. That's when Calvin and his family decided to adopt Arik and welcome him into their home. But little did they know, even though Arik was retired, he wasn't finished coming to the rescue of others in need. I'd now like you to turn your attention to the screen as we show you a short tribute to Arik and learn more about his heroic story.
While I was skiing, I slipped on the ice and fell on my hip. Couldn't walk.
Arik is a retired police dog. He retired at 7 years old and he's been with us for the last 2 years. I was headed to the gym at 6 p.m. and I noticed Lloyd's vehicle at the end of a skiing trail. On my way back from the gym, I noticed that Lloyd's vehicle was still there, so I went home and got Arik. We went to go get his leash, but it was half stuck in the ice. I fashioned a jumping rope into a leash. Once we reached the trail, I pointed to the tracks and I said, "Track it." Then Arik started sniffing. He was pulling on the jumping rope pretty hard, so I was trying to keep up. And a couple minutes into the trail, we heard a man scream help. Arik snapped the jumping rope and took off running.
The dog heard me first, and he broke away from Calvin, and I seem to recall him licking my face. In a few moments, Calvin came along, and he said, "I'm going to call my father." Next thing, his father came along. His father told Calvin to go to the car and call ambulance. So Calvin disappeared, and his father stayed with me and tried to keep me warm until the ambulance guys came.
The dog was able to track through the woods, either following the scent of this person or the actual tracks in the snow to find this elderly gentleman, and they were able to get to him before he froze to death or suffered from hypothermia.
I definitely don't think I would have found Lloyd had Arik not been there.
So we have some exciting news. Arik is going to be inducted and recognized for saving your life.
Very nice.
Oh, wow. Thank you guys so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Calvin and Arik to the stage. So I got to meet Arik backstage, and I got to watch Arik walk into this big building. He's a country dog, isn't he? Oh, yeah. He how's the city life been for him so far?
He's adapting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unbelievable, the story itself, where you went out and found your friend, and at the same token, you know, we know he's a retired police dog, but has there been any signs to show that he still has those traits?
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to thank Purina for hosting this. They've done an amazing job, and it's an honor to be here. So, but yeah, to answer your question, Arik's job description is to discover drugs and other illegal substances. He will track down and apprehend fleeing suspects and missing persons. And they're trained to be highly intense, or they're high intensity and strong confidence. And so actually, he's not trained to be a pet as much as a canine dog. So coming into the household there was adapting. He would jump on the counter and steal my supper.
And you're like, you're bigger than me.
Yeah,
you can go ahead.
I couldn't defend myself. he eats better than me. But
some of your proudest thoughts about him. When you think of Arik, what do you think of?
Yeah, actually, a couple months ago, we were walking in the woods to this cave, me and a couple friends, and my friend dropped his phone in the woods, and we were looking for it for hours, and we couldn't find it. So I went home and I got Arik, and I made him sniff the friend and told him to search, and he found it within minutes. So that was pretty cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So like when you see a cute girl,
oh yeah,
and you're wondering where she went.
Yeah.
Do you go get Arik?
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause to Calvin and Arik.
It doesn't get better than this, does it? So thank you, Frankie, and thank you, Calvin, and of course, Arik. I also got lots of kisses from Arik as well. I'm getting lots of kisses, let me tell you. More kisses than I've had in a really, really long time. So thank you for your incredible perseverance and tracking instincts and to save Lloyd's life. Was that not an incredible story? Just an incredible story. Like, oh my goodness. So I would also like to bring somebody up to the stage. I would like to introduce you to Todd Cooney. Come on up. With a commitment to bringing the best for our pets and a personal history that spans over 27 years at Purina, I would like to welcome to the stage Todd Cooney, President at Nestle Purina Pet Care Canada. Todd?
Thank you, Jennifer. Well, there's Clyde on the big screen. Whoever would have thought Clyde would ever make it to the big screen. Thank you, Jennifer. I'm a strong believer that animals need to be recognized for the selfless things that they do for people and for the bravery and kindness that they demonstrate when saving a human life. So it's a great privilege to be here today to present a Purina Award in such a milestone year for the organization, celebrating our 50th Animal Hall of Fame year. And I've shared numerous stories through the years. Being a pet lover, obviously you love sharing stories, but when my kids were growing up, they always wanted that bedtime story before they went to sleep. And so I really used the Animal Hall of Fame, obviously, to share that wonderful story with them, and at the same time, obviously, instill in my children a compassion towards animals. I'm honored to be here today to present our third inductee story. Sabrina is a 12-year-old whippet from Saint Laurent, Quebec. And Sabrina's owners weren't actually in the market to buy a dog, but really, ever since they met Sabrina, it was love at first sight, and this trio has been inseparable ever since. Please turn your attention to the screen as we show a tribute to Sabrina.
I would just have lied there for 5 hours. So I'd probably have passed away. She sleeps in our bed at night. We're inseparable. She just has to be with me when I'm home. This was about 2 in the morning. I had gone to the washroom and to go back into our room. Somehow I took a wrong turn.
I'm asleep and all of a sudden Sabrina's jumping onto the bed and she's pulling at the blankets and I'm telling her, get lost, get lost. She just kept pushing at the blankets. So I figured something might be wrong. So I got up and it was still dark, went downstairs and I saw Adele lying totally prone on the floor. Her eyes were open, but she was totally out of it. I put my hand behind her head. My hands were covered with blood. So I grabbed a towel, put it under her head, called 911.
I don't remember anything. I really don't know why I took the turn or anything about the fall. Just that I woke up in the hospital.
I've been in practice for 43 years, and I've never had a patient whose medical status or whose health was saved by an animal. And Sabrina just came to the rescue, but I think that's also because the two of them are bonded at the hip.
Dogs and people have a remarkable connection, and dogs that are bonded with people really jump into action, and they have that connection to just do whatever they can to help.
Had she not woken me up, then the situation could be different. I could be sitting here by myself. She's a hero.
Sabrina is actually going to be inducted into the Purina Animal Hall of Fame.
Oh, thank you. Ooh, I'm ecstatic.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Adele, Bill, and Sabrina to the stage. Well, golden anniversary year, Purina Animal Hall of Fame. How do you feel about Sabrina?
Wonderful. Really amazed and so honored to have her representing Purina Hall of Fame. It's just amazing.
Now, Sabrina's normally fairly shy.
Yes.
And as you can see. And then all of a sudden, Sabrina sprang into action. So this was very, very different behavior for her, it seems.
Yes. She sometimes sleeps with us, but she wouldn't be digging, as Bill said, digging on the covers and pulling on them. So, okay. Yeah, she wouldn't be pulling the covers off, he said, and she was just like going crazy.
And now she's back being her shy self after
Yes. Yeah, as she gets older, she gets shyer. For some reason, I don't know why, and more attached. It's like she doesn't let me go anywhere without her.
And when I met you earlier, you said she wasn't necessarily like that when she was a puppy,
No,
though.
when she was younger, she wasn't. But as she got older and as she got more attached, she just follows me everywhere in the house. It's just sometimes even annoying.
So when she gets back to St. Laurent, she's going to be a star, obviously.
Yes, of course. And sometimes when Bill will ask her to go out, she'll turn around. Are you coming?
Well, I wanted to wish you congratulations, Adele.
Thank you
and
so
Bill, and
much.
congratulations, Sabrina.
I just want to say something.
Sure.
Since the accident, Sabrina will not go down the stairs
Yes.
where Adele fell down.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. She will not go down those stairs. And that's where I come in from our garage, and there's a sofa there, and she used to wait on the sofa for me. Now she won't go down the stairs.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Incredible stories here today. So emotional. And animals are special people, and they really do know. They're so intuitive. They know when you're having a bad day. They know when you're having a good day. And they save lives. They know when there's trouble. So please give it up for Sabrina and Adele. And congratulations again. Thank you to everyone for sharing your stories today. The stories mean so much. The stories that we shared today were remarkable and truly demonstrate the incredible impact pets have not only on their owners but on all of us here today. They show us the unquestionable love and loyalty that animals provide, enhancing the lives of everyone around them. The 2018 Purina Animal Hall of Fame inductees, Sabrina, Arik, Ruth and Lady, and our special honorable mention recipients, Kobe and Smiley, have no doubt proven themselves to be loyal, protective, devoted, and determined animals that would do anything for their humans. In addition to today's celebration, Purina is providing free Purina One Dog food for 1 year for each of these heroes, just a small token for what they have done for others. On behalf of everyone at Purina, I would like to thank you all for being a part of this very, very special day. And please join me in another round of applause for Sabrina, Arik, Ruth, Lady, Kobe, and Smiley for these animal heroes. So thank you again. A reminder for Purina employees, can you please stay in the theater? And for the students also, can you please stay in the theater? And everyone else, we're going to have a big party outside that they won't be involved with. No, I'm kidding. We're not having a party. Don't think that. But if you want to stick around, mix and mingle for a little bit, I'm going to be out there. Not that you want to mix and mingle with me, but hey, I'd like to talk to you. So thank you again on behalf of Purina. This has been just an honor for me to be able to host these awards. They're so special, and they've been going on for 50 years. So it's about time they asked me, right? I'm 50. Oh, did I just admit that? Sorry. I am. I'm just as old. So thank you. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye, everyone.